Right now on NBC26 live at 6, tensions running high for national candidates. Hear how more political events are coming to Wisconsin. Plus, a Milwaukee police officer charged in the shooting of a citizen, something the department hasn't dealt with in a decade. And a memorial run on the anniversary of a young boy's disappearance, and a story that captivated the nation. We begin with Decision 2016. We're less than 3 weeks away from the election. Both parties making a final push for voters. NBC26's Raquel Lamel was at one event today where getting to the polls was the main focus. She joins us live at 6 with the details.
Well, Holly, today's Democratic Forum was held at the UAW-578 headquarters in Oshkosh, and the message was simple: meet the candidates and get out and vote.
Every election is the most important election. And this one is no different.
A packed hall in Oshkosh.
I think it's very important that we know where our candidates stand.
Dozens of people asking questions to some of the names on the ballot this November.
An unusual situation where both candidates have been in the Senate, so you can actually look at the record.
Voters getting answers to help them make a choice, and Democrats trying to get people to head to the polls before November 8th.
You can avoid all that crunch on Election Day, get it done early. And I have a lot of people come up to me and said it feels so good to get it done and know you've already voted.
And while Democrats are pushing for votes all the way up to the top of the ticket, Republicans are working to drum up support too. Volunteers across Wisconsin making calls, handing out signs, and knocking on doors. On Thursday, following the final presidential debate, Republicans said they're excited for their top nominee.
His platform is very clear and contrasting to that of Hillary Clinton's.
Pushing for last-minute votes just 3 weeks away from Election Day. Forum, some of those in attendance said they feel people are scared to discuss this year's election because of how heated the topic can get. But candidates encourage voters to have discussions with others about the names on the ballot. Keeping you connected, Raquel Lamel, NBC26.
Thanks, Raquel. Well, leaders within the Republican Party making stops all throughout Wisconsin tomorrow, hoping to close what they call a gap in the Senate race. Governor Walker will join Ron Johnson to continue campaigning. They plan on making stops in Eau Claire, Wausau, Green Bay, and Waukesha. In the race for the White House, with a little more than 2 weeks left before Election Day, the candidates are rallying support in battleground states. Today, Donald Trump laid out his vision for his first 100 days in office. NBC's Chris Pallone has the story.
It was billed as a policy speech. Donald Trump in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, laying out his agenda for his presidency's first 100 days. But like all Trump speeches, it touched on a wide range of topics, from the leadership of Abraham Lincoln.
It is my hope that we can look at his example to heal the divisions we are living through right now.
To making Mexico pay for a border wall.
Remember, I said Mexico's paying for the wall.
Trump once again mentioned the women who have come forward to accuse him of inappropriate touching or kissing. He's now threatening to sue them.
The events never happened, never. All of these liars will be sued after the election is over.
All of this happening as an 11th accuser came forward Saturday in Los Angeles.
If Mr. Trump thought that such bullying tactics would silence his accusers and prevent other women from coming forward, he will be sorely disappointed.
The Clinton campaign, which polls show winning or within the margin of error in every swing state, is trying to run out the clock. Clinton is in Pittsburgh campaigning with her running mate Tim Kaine for the first time in 6 weeks, making an appeal to voters wavering in their support for Trump.
You probably know people who are thinking about voting for Donald Trump. I understand that they need a president who cares about them, will listen to them, and I want to be their president too.
With early voting already underway in 34 states for Clinton and Trump, time is running short. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
It was a cloudy start today, but most of the areas saw. Hi there. we had clouds this morning, but the sunshine broke out, and it was a beautiful Saturday out there across northeast Wisconsin. Here's a look at temperatures. A few spots down to the 40s already, but many of us in the 50s still, and we saw the warmest day we've had in at least a few days. Temperatures a good, in some spots, 10 degrees warmer or so than this time 24 hours ago. Your evening forecast not going to be as chilly this evening, but temperatures will dip down to the 40s under mainly clear skies. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, but we have a chance for some rain showers. Details on that coming up.
All right, thanks, Matt. A 26-year-old man was severely injured after a crash in Waupaca County last night. The Sheriff's Department says a deputy tried to stop the driver for speeding at 99 miles per hour on Highway 10 in the town of Lind. The driver turned on Holiday Road, lost control of the vehicle, and crashed into a ditch. He was flown to a hospital while the crash remains under investigation. For the first time in 10 years, a Milwaukee area police officer is charged with intentionally shooting a citizen. The charges come 7 months after Officer Devin Kramer allegedly shot Manuel Burnley. Kramer is charged with aggravated battery and use of a dangerous weapon.
But to have an individual on the ground, face down, and have an officer stand over him and shoot him in the back, that's somewhat unprecedented.
In a statement, the Brown Deer police chief said Officer Kramer's guilt or innocence may ultimately be decided by a jury, but until such time, the criminal justice system retains a presumption of innocence. Suspended Milwaukee police officer Dominique Hagan-Brown remains behind bars tonight. He faces more than 80 years for the alleged rape of 2 men and soliciting sex from 2 other people. Hagan-Brown shot Civil Smith in August, sparking violence in Sherman Park. The DA has not made a decision on whether to charge Hagan-Brown in that shooting. We're continuing to follow a developing story. Brendan Dassey's conviction for the 2005 murder of Teresa Halbach was overturned in August when a federal magistrate judge ruled Dassey's confession was coerced. The court gave the state of opinions of freeing Dassey, retrying him, or appealing the ruling. This week, the state filed their appeal asking the court to rule the confession was not coerced. Wisconsin State Attorney General Brad Schimmel believes the case will not be resolved quickly.
It was a 9-day trial, as I recall. There's an enormous amount of evidence for the appellate court to look over and prepare with. So we're probably quite some months out yet from a decision.
The Attorney General went on to say he expects it to take 4 to 5 months for a ruling. Today marks the 27-year anniversary of the disappearance of 11-year-old Jacob Wetterling in Minnesota. In St. Paul this morning, some 1,000 people turned out to take part in a 5K run to honor him. Today's first annual run was planned before Danny Heinrich confessed to kidnapping and killing Wetterling in 1989. Organizers say the purpose of the race is to honor Jacob and raise awareness about child safety and prevention. Proceeds of the race will go to a nonprofit founded by Wetterling's parents. The nonprofit provides care and treatment for children, families, and adult survivors of child abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Well, law enforcement around the country asking everyone to turn in unused drugs to combat a growing opioid epidemic. You can drop off any drugs, no questions asked, in the police department lobbies today for Drug Take Back Day. Across the nation, Wisconsin ranked 3rd in the pounds of drugs taken back by the program. Only California and Texas had more. Still ahead on NBC26, some exciting technologies coming to a local hospital. We take you to the roof as HSHS St. Vincent makes room for new. But first, another beautiful fall weekend is here, but are we looking at some frost in the future? Matt has your forecast next.
You're connected to NBC26 News at 6 with Holly Baker, Matt Hoffman, weather, and Marissa Silva, sports. NBC26 News at 6, keeping you connected.